What's going on, my YouTube family? How are you all doing? Hope everyone's had a wonderful week. It is Friday now, and it's a market update, a roundup on what is going on with Binance Chain, Binance Coin, all of this stuff. So let's get straight into it. So first and foremost, we are going to start with the most craziest thing of all: Binance Coin going to number 3 on the market cap ladder. And you know, I actually saw people today who were talking to me and were asking me about, you know, I was surprised and how did this happen and everything like that. And let's just dig into that first. And so, first and foremost, majority of people who own Binance Coin are either people who are just speculating on it. People actually need it to get further discounts. You know, if you're a big player on the Binance platform, you need to hold tokens of BNB to actually get discounts, discounted trading fees and so on. There's also people who act as introducing brokers who get a bigger rebate if they actually hold more fees as well. So that's a couple of reasons why BNB and that ecosystem itself. And then you got people who want to be involved in the launch pools and the launch pads and staking and things like that on Binance platform alone. Now, if we think about it, the Binance Smart Chain didn't just pop up yesterday. You know, the end of last year, the last quarter of last year was when it was all happening. And so realistically, in my opinion, that probably wasn't built into the price because it didn't have as much traction. But now, over the last few days, we've seen this migration from wherever all these people have come from, whether it be from the ETH side of things or whether it just be from people within Binance who have heard about these opportunities, have come running. But Binance has put on some serious returns. You know, it's gone 5-6x now in 30 days. And what I want you to think about is that this is no longer just an exchange token. You know, this is a token that people now need to interact on the Binance Smart Chain network. For the Binance Smart Chain network, BNB is gas. And so that means that there's going to be a high demand for it. There's a lot of pools, liquidity pools and AMMs that are on the platform that require BNB staking. A lot of people are staking up their BNB. So a lot of BNB is actually getting removed from the system as well. People are staking it. We already know people are hoarding it anyway from the other reasons from before. Now you've got even more of a reason for people to hoard it. And that's why it's gone crazy. You know, it has a total supply of 171 million and people are locking this thing up like no tomorrow. Like there was like 20% locked up on, I think, Venus platform alone. And so it's actually jumped now 41 billion market cap. And to be honest, does it surprise me? Probably not. Does it have more room to the upside? Possibly. I mean, you're looking at Ethereum of 221 million. So there's absolutely no reason why Binance can't go 50% more from here. You know, there's no reason why we can't see Binance Coin at $500. And I kind of feel that Binance Coin to $500, if that does happen soon, I think that space might start to get a bit heated. You're probably going to have a few projects that start to get a bit too excited, and I will dig into a few of them in today's video. And so let's sort of do the roundup on everything else at the moment. So the next thing really to talk about is Pancake Swap, $19.29. Now my original target for Pancake Swap when I made the first videos on this was actually $20. And I thought pitching it against Uni and Sushi was great. However, now the momentum that this is having is just making me think maybe we gotta hold this a little bit longer. You know, the amount of total value locked up has just become insane. So let's sort of have a look at where this fits in comparison to the other ones, right? So it's really targeting Uni now. Uni has 4.7, 6 billion market cap, 20 billion fully diluted, but 4.7 billion locked up, right? Pancake, 2 billion, 3.5 locked up. And so it's not far from it. And if we go and look at CoinMarketCap and go into the DEX exchanges here, it's doing more volume. So my question is it a matter of time that this puts on another 50% and goes to like 3 or 4 billion market cap? And it's very, very possible. Like, it's very hard to sit here and say, no, it's not going to do it. It's hyped. It's not what people want. Like, seems to be what people want. People want lower fees. And so we've got it, like, I mean, even your 24-hour trading volume, it's almost on par. Like, the other thing is too, I think within 1, 2, 3 days, you're going to see futures contracts on Binance for both Pancake and Venus. The fact that they were removed today from the innovation zone onto the main trading thing was, in my opinion, the right move for them to do that. I think it's, the fact that people are now going to be able to buy these with leverage, given everything that's going on, I think is going to give it another bit of fire underneath it. However, that might not be for all the coins. And so obviously Pancake is the main one that everyone's looking at. So let's move on from that now. The next one is Auto. Now Auto is an interesting one for me. I've actually purchased more Auto. I think it hasn't even started moving yet. It is up 30% today. We're just over 10,000, just under 11,000 now. But it's only got 147 million market cap, fully diluted, 875. It's got 1.5 billion locked up. Like, these are not small numbers now. Let's just jump onto DeFi Pulse, and you can see that, there's a number of platforms around here that have got similar sort of things locked up, like your Makers Makers at 7 billion. It's obviously a lot more advanced than like an Auto Farm, but to only have 100 and something million market cap and to be there, like I personally, I'm holding this to 30k. I think we'll probably get to 30k in this move. I think there's enough hype behind these coins. I think people will get G'd up and get excited because it's got a low circulating supply. However, I think the people playing in this market right now might be similar to those who want to buy one full Bitcoin, and the fact that this is $10,000 may not appeal to a lot of people, which is possibly why it hasn't already gone. So, and what I did notice is a lot of people that I know in the space in DeFi, in traditional DeFi on Ethereum, are asking a lot of questions about Binance Smart Chain DeFi. Are people migrating over? What's happening with it? How does it work? Is it as simple? Is it centralized and everything like this? And these are all questions that as people start to answer it and people start to see the opportunity, you're actually going to see more and more money flow in. I think we're sort of seeing the first real wave of it occurring right now. I'm sort of looking, maybe the next wave is the wave I'll probably start scaling out on things. I don't want to be in it when it's really, really overhyped. I'm happy to run a little bit if it's just gains, but yeah, I'll be definitely looking to scale out of whatever I'm in on the way up. So that's Auto Farm. I mean, this thing has just been ticking along like crazy. If we actually go into DeFi Station, I mean, we're almost at 11 billion locked up already. That's almost 25% of what it took for this. Like, you think about how long it took this to get to 10 billion, and this has just done it in like days. Like, we broke it on the 5th. It's done it in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's insane. And we got, Auto Farm here, 1.46. Like, it's third. Like, people are going to start seeing this. And if you look at that run, like, that's parabolic to the upside. We had 400 million locked up today. So, if we get this thing go to 3 billion, if we see this double, you probably see price double, probably see 25k price. So we probably need a little bit more, and it's definitely possible. It's definitely there. I'll be running it until I see fit or otherwise. Next thing I want to talk about is Berry data, which is one that was on the initial farming. It was an IFO, right? So basically you had to stake up a liquidity pool token to be able to get access to this. I got access to a small amount. I bought some more on the open when it started, and this thing has just been flying. It was like $5. Now we're at 34. I actually bought more at 5, and then I bought just a little bit more at 15 because I was like, I still think this is good. And it's got a lot of hype and a lot of talk around it. And I mean, we're almost up 100% for the day. The interesting thing is people start talking about where could this go, and it kind of depends what they do. It's quite an interesting project. It's meant to be a chain link on the Binance Smart Chain, but it doesn't really have a lot happening yet. Like, you go onto Chainlink and you go onto the Link mainnet, and you can actually see all the transactions and things that are actually going on in it. You can't do it yet with Berry. So people who think this is going to like 100x, I mean, maybe, But at the same time too, I mean, anything can kind of happen in these markets, and I don't think when you sort of go on the website, it's as like, it looks great, but it looks like everything back in 2017. You know, got your token model, but like, what does this tell me? You know what I mean? It's got some stuff on mining and some stuff on data feeds and everything like that, but nothing is really going on yet. Like, it's very, very simple. So my question is to have a fully diluted valuation of 436 and a market cap of 100. Yeah, we're getting a bit ambitious with this. You know, when you consider something like Auto, like this, Auto is 50% more market cap right now than Berry, and it actually has something that's going on. So I think people may be getting a bit too G'd up with this Berry data. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, the fact of the matter is, as we saw in the stock market recently, the craziness of the crowd can send things ballistic for a long time. So, hey, I'm in all of these, so I'm hoping they do it. However, I'm not, you know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that everything's going to go to the moon. Maybe it might not, and there's no point in being delusional about that. And so the next thing is Venus. I really like this one. I think this one's probably one of the best of the bunch. I think it's still got a long way to go as well. You know, I've been talking about it the last few days. I put a thing up on my Instagram yesterday about $80 being cheap. We hit almost $100 today, which was good to see, but we've come off a little bit. So I'm assuming people probably taking profits because we hit that sort of like 3 billion valuation or a billion market cap, that kind of an area. I still think this should be double. Like, I really do. My original price target on this was 120. I think we'll probably get to 150, 200 at this current rate. You know, the fact that it has, like you look at these ones, 7 and 5 billion, right? RV's got 5.6, it's got 7. This thing is just out of control. It's got 4.23 billion locked up. And it's just growing and growing at a rapid rate. You know, 20% change in 24 hours. Like, that is crazy. You're starting to really see, like, if we get 2 or 3 more days of that, you're going to see this thing hit $150. Like, it's just, but we need to see more value locked up on the platform. So with a lot of these things, there is definitely a correlation between the TVL and the price of the asset. You always see when there's a decent pump in TVL, there's a decent pump in price of the asset. Kind of makes sense, goes hand in hand. But you just want to be careful. You know, I don't want to sit here and say you got to buy Venus because it's going to double, because if no one decides to start locking stuff up and people actually remove liquidity from it, it's probably not going to go up. So we always want to be looking at, like, what are people doing? What's going on in the market? How are we interpreting it? A lot of these things right now, because of the momentum in the market, we're actually getting round-the-clock moves, gains consistently, and it's becoming a bit hard to be able to manage all of this and all these positions that are sort of happening at once, and everything's flying around. So be mindful of that and be very careful when you are doing all of these sort of trades and stuff like that. The next thing I want to look at is the Binance Smart Chain unique addresses. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with this. So, like, we had that massive growth, and, like, literally for, like, the last 2 days, we put on 20,000. Then we put on 43 addresses yesterday. But that, to me, doesn't make any sense. Either there was an error yesterday with the Binance Smart Chain, wherever this is collecting data from, or, fuck, everyone's already in. I don't know. I'd love to see this number skyrocket a little bit more so we can get some more people, but it sort of is what it is at the moment. And so a couple of people have been asking me to talk about some other tokens that I'm sort of seeing. And I think really what you want to look at, and I use DAppRadar for this, is you want to be making sure you're getting on stuff that's riding a wave. Right now, I mean, we had people talking about Bakery Swap. Maybe be checking that out. Maybe be checking out the Ramen Swap. Be careful with some of these. You know, they can tend to get dumped pretty quickly when the APYs drop significantly, or when people decide to pull cash, prices start dumping around and stuff like that. I've been doing some farming. It's really interesting. Treasureland's a pretty cool one. I kind of find this quite cool. It's an NFT market on the Binance Smart Chain. I recommend getting on it. There might be a few bargains, I feel. You know, this NFT space seems to be hyping up a little bit as well, if it hasn't already. I mean, on the Binance chain, it's even more better because of the fee structure, right? And so, in my opinion, I feel that this potentially could have some legs. If people start making a lot of money on the Binance chain, people are going to want to buy NFTs and spend their money that they've made on these weird random little things, and that might benefit a lot from it. So I definitely recommend checking that out. You can actually buy Treasureland tokens, but I would actually look at purchasing some of the NFTs, and I've done that a little bit myself. I've got a couple. I think I've got 6 to 8 NFT tokens on different little things, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. The next thing though is Bakery Swap. Now Bakery Swap has a little bit of NFT in it as well. It does have some NFTs, so let's just jump onto the website and have a look. And so if we jump onto it here, I always like to go info and see what's actually happening with the analytics of these platforms. I don't really care what they do. Now what is interesting to me is we've obviously had a massive spike in volume. Volume for the past 24 hours has jumped 400%, so that's crazy. You kind of want to know where the volume is. So the volume is right now in this bakery token and wrap BNB. So if you kind of have a look at the pools, that's probably where the volume is going to be, wrap BNB and bake. Bake and BUSD. So there must be some interesting yields that people are looking at on this. So if we go to earning, we got to collect a wallet to do that. But you can also, this here is the NFT stuff that I was talking about as well. I think the bake token is about $10, $12. Let's have a look and see. Bake token. See, this doesn't even have much information. See, it's already up 238% today alone. You want to sort of have a look at this. That there says to us that it's probably got about 300 million, 350 million market cap at the moment if it's fully diluted. If we kind of have a look at how many there actually are, let's see if we can find that somewhere. Might not be here. So there we go. Total supply. Baked in circulation. Alright, let me just log into a wallet here and we'll sort of see how we go here. We've got all sorts of bloody different networks connected up. Okay, so it looks like at the moment there's 129 million baked in circulation. So that's actually quite a bit. If you look at it, 129 million times by the token price of 268 is 345 million market cap already on Bake. It's not small. It's not small at all. Especially when you consider, you know, it has. Let's go back to DeFi Station. Is it on this one here? Yeah, it is. They're trying to promote it. 26 million locked. It did what, 70 million in volume, 70 million in that. I think there's better plays out there. Unless this really kicks off and starts getting heaps and heaps and heaps of momentum, I think maybe check it out, maybe not. I think people are just going to stay and stick with Pancake Swap, to be honest. I don't think people are going to mess around with some of these other ones. And at the end of the day too, if you can stake up your Pancake as well, the cake token, and earn cake on that, which with the bullishness of it, you're probably better off doing that because there's going to be more flows going into that. However, getting this at the current price, you're probably even better off going and looking at Pangolin on the AVAX network. It basically is the same as this. We'll do another video on that another time, but it's probably going to be the better bet depending on the price. Yeah, and so the other one was what was another one people wanted me to look at? Where's the thing gone? Burger Swap. Burger Swap was the other one. Now I was in Burger Swap. Unfortunately, I got out and didn't think it was that great anymore. Numbers were going down. The website was a little bit slow. I couldn't seem to like get it right. So if we sort of have a look at the data here, and this is what I was always looking at. We actually never got this change, and this confused me a little bit because I was like, it's always got a 45 million market cap, and it just never seemed to be doing anything different, and that was frustrating me because I was like, what is going on here? It doesn't seem to be doing what I wanted it to do. But then when we look at sort of like on here, The thing's gone crazy. Oh, it's $15 now, 152%. So it's crazy. Fully diluted valuation again, 300 million. So realistically, if anything, I mean, one interesting thing is you click the search bar and you see what everyone's, looking at. But this one, in my opinion, is a bit more interesting. Fries, fully diluted valuation of 13 million. Market cap of 8 million and limited supply. So it's got low supply. The supply is already out there. It's 13 million market cap. And let's actually look at the platform. And so if we have a look here, it's actually got 23 million in staked value, which is decent. I mean, it's not huge numbers, but if we kind of have a look at the users situation here, let's go back to DeFi and we'll go Binance Smart Chain. We'll go down. Is it on the first page? I saw it, but it vanished. Oh, no. Alright, so let's... What's going on here? Here we go. Alright. What's going on here? Alright. Might be on the second page. Fortunately, it's on the second page. There it is there. So it says balance 1.93 million. Not quite sure what that's about. It's probably worth checking out. It's a good punt because the market cap is so low. The fact of like 13 million, stake value 23 million. It has some decent things. It's got some vaults. It's probably got one of the highest paying vaults for Pancake Swap at the moment. And it's actually, I'm pretty sure it's already audited as well. Yeah, and so this looks like a more legitimate audit. Risk level is low, it says. I mean, take what you want from this. Token supply is variable, so there's a lot of projects like this that seem to have that variable token supply. But at the same time too, hey, it's probably worth a punt. I bought a little bit. I didn't have much of this one, but potentially there might be the idea to buy more of it because, I reckon we could see this at 1500. This could go 5x, 60 million market cap. Could do it easy. You might not get that in some of the other ones, but just be cautious with them because there's going to be a lot of things that are just not going to last. Like if you think about it, there's uni and sushi, and then in this one there's like there's Pancake so far. What else is going to be up there, right? But maybe look for something that's maybe like an up and coming 1 inch. We'll dig into this. I'll make a video over the weekend where we dig more into maybe more obscure coins that potentially may sort of go crazy and how we can potentially look to find them. But for now, that's really just an update on what's driving the market, where I think things might go in the short to medium term. It's obviously the weekend coming up now, and the weekend's always an interesting time in crypto. What is going to happen this weekend? I don't know. Are we going to see more craziness? Is everyone literally going to be sitting in front of their computer punting Binance Coin and Binance Smart Chain this weekend? Quite possibly. Look at it. $311 and going. Where's it stop? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you all later. Peace.